In 2024, a moment of profound emotion unfolded in Burkina Faso, one that would forever be etched in the hearts of its people. It was not a day of war, nor a day of victory on the battlefield, but rather a day of honor, gratitude, and remembrance. The cameras captured a powerful image. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Faso, encouraging and comforting a wounded volunteer for the defense of the homeland, a young man who had sacrificed his body to defend the motherland. That image, raw and sincere, became a symbol of leadership, of compassion, and of unity. It told a story that words could hardly express. The story of a leader who does not just command from a distance, but stands shoulder to shoulder with those who bleed for the nation. This powerful scene set the tone for a year marked by unprecedented national resilience and a renewed spirit of patriotism, resonating deeply within every corner of the West African nation. Before we go deeper into this story of courage and sacrifice, this is Africa Awake, your home for stories that awaken the true spirit of Africa. Stories of heroes, of hope, and of change. If you haven't yet, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any powerful updates. Every story we tell here is one step toward reclaiming our narrative, and this story from Burkina Faso deserves to be remembered. The 2024 National Awards ceremony in Ouagadougou was not an ordinary event. It was a moment when Captain Ibrahim Traoré stood before his people, not as a distant head of state, but as a comrade in arms, recognizing the bravery of soldiers and volunteers for the defense of the homeland, known as VDPs. These were men and women who had stared death in the face so that their brothers and sisters could sleep in peace. Among them were young patriots like Seni Sankara, just 21 years old, and Yaya Dima, 23, who answered the nation's call when terrorists threatened to tear their homeland apart. They did not wait for orders. They rose up because love for the motherland burned in their hearts, stronger than fear. They came from villages that had been silenced by gunfire, from homes that had been emptied by fear, yet they chose to stand. One of them recalled how his village could no longer function. People were being killed, homes destroyed, and they could do nothing. So he and others decided to join the VDPs, determined to defend what was left of their land. Have a watch.
The ranks of the VDP, because of the war, since we couldn't do anything anymore in our village, I went back to our village, people were being killed, and at that point we couldn't do anything anymore. So we decided to join, we would integrate there to defend our village.
These were not trained soldiers. They were farmers, teachers, mechanics, and students who traded their plows and pens for rifles, united by one mission: to free Burkina Faso from the chains of terror and to bring their displaced families back home, rebuilding their shattered communities one brave act at a time. In those months of endless struggle, the VDPs faced it all: treacherous terrain, unpredictable weather, and an enemy that hid in shadows. Their resolve was tested daily against adversaries who employed asymmetric tactics, aiming to sow fear and division among the populace. Yet not even the constant threat of death could shake their determination. Inspired by Captain Ibrahim Traoré's unwavering leadership, they fought with the confidence of men and women who knew they were standing on the right side of history, defending their families and future. For them, courage was not just a word, it was a way of life, an intrinsic part of their identity as Burkinabe. But courage often comes at a price, a somber reality that would soon manifest with devastating clarity. On May 8, 2024, tragedy struck during an operation in Jena. The team had set out to support a sweep operation when insurgents, aware of the plan, planted hidden mines along the route. As they advanced on foot to search nearby houses, two young VDPs triggered the mines. The explosion shattered the silence of the evening. Cries of pain and shouts of help pierced the night. One soldier rushed to help his fallen comrade, only to step on another mine himself.
The Sankarasini incident. It occurred on May 8, 2024, when one of our positions was attacked in Yenga. And they were supposed to leave Panay to provide support for a sweep operation. However, the insurgents, realizing there would be support, planted mines along the route. Sankara Sini and his partner triggered the mine. He was injured.
We had to destroy quite a lot of mines since we arrived here practically in the evening, which made the task even more challenging. But we still had to seal off the town and search everything. Since we had already been clearly warned in advance of the enemy's presence nearby, we really had to do absolutely everything possible to finish what we had started before nightfall. So, unfortunately, it was during this advance we had almost finished the job. A mine that we hadn't been able to detect. Unfortunately, since they were always at the front, they triggered the mine.
We were walking on foot to go search the house. Since it wasn't far, we decided to go on foot. When we left, there was a pair who stayed behind. We had moved forward a bit, he stayed behind. He stepped on a mine while he was on foot, walking carefully through the area. When he stepped on it, we immediately hit the ground, dropping down as quickly as we could to protect ourselves. We say now, looking back on that moment, that he cried out desperately for help, his voice echoing in the chaos. When we ran over to help him, rushing to his side as fast as we could, in that very moment, I too, unfortunately, I ended up stepping on a mine myself, experiencing the same terrifying fate.
It was chaos, but even in those desperate moments, their thoughts were not on their own survival, but on completing the mission and protecting their brothers, showcasing an incredible selflessness that defined their sacrifice. Those who survived the horrific events in Jena were rushed to the military hospital in Ouagadougou. There, Captain Ibrahim Traoré once again proved what true leadership looks like. He visited the wounded personally, walking through the wards, offering not just words of comfort, but sincere promises of care, support, and profound recognition. He declared that every wounded soldier and VDP would be given proper medical attention, their immense sacrifices matched by the nation's deepest gratitude. Under his direct and urgent directive, a dedicated multidisciplinary medical team was assigned to ensure that every fighter received full treatment, from complex surgeries to painstaking rehabilitation. Because, as Traoré himself powerfully stated, they deserve care that matches the sacrifice they have made for our beloved homeland. Doctors like Captain Alassane Coulibaly and his team worked tirelessly, caring for the wounded from dawn to dusk.
When there is an attack, when a VDP or a soldier is wounded in action, the information is relayed with all the details about their injury, the location, and so on, so that we can already prepare here to receive them. And once they arrive here, they are automatically taken care of by a multidisciplinary team in order to address the emergency and treat the patient. No matter what, the surgeons are available, the supply room is available, the lab is available, and we take care of the VDPs just as we do the soldiers.
The doctors are really taking very good and attentive care of me from dawn to dusk. Here, the care and attention I have received so far has been consistently good.
Many of these brave individuals, even while lying in hospital beds, spoke not of despair, but of their unwavering desire to return to the front lines. Their bodies were broken, but their spirits remained entirely unshaken. One soldier, with a resilient smile, summed up their collective resolve. "If I had to do it all over again, I would. Because we cannot just cross our arms and let others walk over our country."
If I had to do it all over again, I would wholeheartedly commit myself forever, because we simply can't just stand by, cross our arms, or let people walk all over our country.
That single, poignant sentence echoed across Burkina Faso, a powerful reminder of what it truly means to love one's land beyond self. And so, the president honored them. During the grand award ceremony, Traoré placed gleaming medals upon their chests, not as a mere formality, but as a profound act of national remembrance and solemn gratitude. He spoke not just as a president, but as a brother in the struggle, a comrade in arms who understood their plight. His words were filled with raw emotion and heartfelt pride as he praised the VDPs and soldiers for their unbreakable spirit and unwavering commitment to the nation. He spoke not just as a president, but as a brother in the struggle, a comrade in arms who understood their plight. His words were filled with raw emotion and heartfelt pride as he praised the VDPs and soldiers for their unbreakable spirit and unwavering commitment to the nation. "We can never praise you enough," he declared with deep sincerity. "We can never finish glorifying you. You are Burkina Faso, and that is all we ask for." For those watching, both in the hall and across the nation, it was a humbling and inspiring sight. These were ordinary people, farmers, young men and women from all walks of life, now elevated to the rank of national heroes. The medals of honor they received were not just decorative symbols, but sacred emblems of the country's profound appreciation and enduring respect for their valor. Through this powerful and unifying act, Captain Ibrahim Traoré reignited a palpable sense of unity and patriotism that had been buried under years of fear and division. His leadership reminded the nation that every sacrifice counts, that no wound goes unnoticed, and that every drop of blood spilled in defense of the homeland nourishes the very soil of freedom, fostering a stronger, more resilient Burkina Faso. Back in Ouagadougou, the ceremony continued, cementing its place in national memory. The young VDPs, Seni Sankara, Yaya Dima, and Siaka Jira stood proudly as they were elevated to the prestigious rank of Knights of the Order of Burkina Merit. Their faces glowed with a mix of genuine humility and immense pride. They eloquently thanked the president for recognizing their tireless efforts, and in turn, they solemnly pledged to keep defending the homeland no matter the cost, echoing a shared national vow. One of them said, with powerful conviction, "I am proud to be from Kour. The people are with us." His words echoed the spirit of the entire nation, a people bound by shared suffering, shared courage, and shared hope for a brighter future. By honoring the soldiers and VDPs, Captain Ibrahim Traoré sent a resonant message that resonated far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. A powerful message to every African leader that true leadership means standing with your people, not above them. He reminded the continent that victory is not only won on the battlefield, but also in the hearts of those who remember, who care, and who lead with unwavering compassion. The story of that day in 2024 is not just Burkina Faso's story. It is Africa's story. It is a story of pain turned into pride, of wounds turned into honor, of a nation reborn through profound sacrifice. And as the sun set over Ouagadougou that evening, one could almost hear the silent collective promise of every Burkinabe heart. We will never forget. If you're just joining us on Africa Awake, this is why you should subscribe to our channel right now and turn on your notification bell, because here we tell the stories that the world needs to hear. The stories of Africa's unsung heroes, of leaders who serve rather than rule, and of nations that rise again from the ashes. Stay connected as we continue to bring you powerful documentaries like this one. Stories that redefine what it means to be African. What if the stories you never hear hold the keys to understanding a continent's future? What if the bravery forged in adversity reveals the true spirit of a nation? For years, headlines have painted a picture, but the real narratives, the powerful human sagas, remain untold. Witness the quiet strength of communities rising from the ashes, the unwavering courage of ordinary citizens defending their homes. Feel the pulse of a new generation of leaders walking alongside their people, not above them. See the faces of heroes, young and old, whose sacrifices etch a legacy of freedom. This is more than news. It's a testament to the unyielding will of a people. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bells so you never miss another story of African courage,